You're really.
You are too caught up.
Definitely a sore spot that they have this very big economic difference between the two of them, and there's like this transaction. It's not exactly a two-sided friend with benefits.
Shout out to the animators. Those chairs took me out.
Directing Erica, and she'll say, "Shut the up."
I've crossed the line. That was the line. I found it. I crossed it.
You're watching convention coverage.
Starting up, since he can't wait, the voice of Blitz, Brandon Rogers! Look at that! Put it... Fix it! Sit!
Okay.
Next up, the voice of Moxxie, Richard Horvitz! Richard Horvitz! Richard Horvitz!
God damn it, Richard, where are you?
You're not even Richard!
Erica Lindbeck!
You haven't been introduced yet. Richard Horvitz! Such... And now, the voice of my sister Millie, Vivian Williams!
I hate you guys.
You hate us?
Yeah, it's just so much energy.
I'm sorry.
Brandon.
I had this one. Should we bring Bucker too?
All right, we're bringing down the energy right now.
No, don't do
Ramping,
that. Don't do that.
ramping up INP. The voice of Loona, Erica Lindbeck!
Do I sit here?
Sit right there. Have a seat. Have a seat. The voice, coming up next. The voice of our Goetia Prince Stolas, Bryce Pinkham! We check to make sure we have everyone. Is Christina back there?
Who?
Christina? Or is she?
I don't know. Is she supposed to be?
Okay, is this everyone?
It's not a secret when you're saying it into a mic.
This is everyone!
Are we not enough for you, Morgana?
I don't read who's supposed to be on these panels. I just wing it. Anyway, we are going to be doing a Q&A today as well, but first I'm going to ask a few questions to our panelists so we all get time to talk. But to start out, we are now halfway through season 2 with our big Mammon episode explosion. Is everyone caught up right now? Is everyone between all the episodes? Good. This person
That person is really caught up.
You're
really.
You are too caught up. Hello, Anthony. Hello to Anthony. So going to just to start it off in a very generic sort of way, I'd love to go down the line and talk about how you felt up to this point in the season, where you are with your character, and if you can tease just a little bit what you're excited for in the second half of season 2, starting with Bryce.
Oh. Well, I'm very happy to be sitting next to my Blitzy. But am I happy with where Stolas is?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we all know the answer to that.
No comment.
Now, I know we're all caught up on the episodes, but who also saw our newest music video for Look My Way? Bryce, you want to talk a little bit about your performance in that?
Do I want to talk about my own performance? Yes, I'm an actor. Of course I do. No, I was speaking to a few fans about it already this morning, and we record these things so far out from when they actually arrive that whatever it is, whether it's the episode or in this case the song, they hit us, and this one indeed hit me new, because of course I remember doing it, but I don't remember all the details of it. So, and I love that. I love that we have 6 to 9 months sometimes before we see the work that we've done, and I was just honestly blown away by the animation.
By yourself.
Well, by myself, yes. How much can I say it? No, I couldn't believe the level of production that went into it, and the way that animators match the feeling of the song with the images, and I'm so proud of it and humbled by it and grateful for the response. So thanks for bringing it up.
You're very welcome. Brandon, let's talk a little bit about where Blitz is at the end of halfway through season 2. He has made amends with once friend, then enemy, now a frenemy kind of friend. Where are we at? Where are we at with
We're not
Blitz and
all,
Fizz?
I mean, you saw episode 7. They're not like bells and whistles about hanging out with each other, but they're hanging out with each other. This might be the only character that Blitz has ever made amends with. That so it's a big deal for him. This is character development. He's maturing, but he has a long way to go before he is an adult by our standards. Yeah, I feel really good about where we are because, my episode is coming up, 210. I wrote that, and I'm very proud of it. The cast is exactly who I had in mind when I wrote the script. We were able to get all the guest stars that we wanted, and
the title of that episode.
The title of the episode, and I can't believe Viv let this happen. It's Ghost.
That one's fun.
But it is the best episode of the show ever. Yeah, so, all done.
Very good, Brandon. Richard. So we have seen Moxxie be adorable in the series so far and very endearing, but we've not only seen some flaws from Moxxie this season, but we've also heard you voice Moxxie's evil, sadistic of a father. Woo! Which I have been excited about because this is a very different type of performance for you than I've ever heard in your career so far. So I'd love to hear how you feel halfway through the season and also to get you to talk a little bit about Krim. Amazing. Vivian.
Incredible. Stunning and brave. Thank you so much, Richard.
Well, I get to be here with my Millie. Oh, Millie! Millie! Well, I like what's happened so far. So far, Jesse Pinkman and I have started our selling of Blue. And we just met Gustavo Fring. And, but that's not this show, is it?
No,
That's the different show.
That's a different show. What was the question?
I'm completely checked out. Your guess is as good as mine.
I love the Krim character. Crimson is Moxxie. You know the rules. No business before dinner. And Moxxie's dad. That's all. Yeah, I love the Krim character because it's such a departure from Moxxie, and he's kind of a Tony Soprano, which was the idea. What's the matter with you, Moxxie? I thought you people liked those things.
I love hearing, especially in that episode, just hearing you play against yourself. It's always fun to just find those subtle qualities between the characters. It's just like
It's a lot of fun because you're right. I don't really get to play like I've done my dad and like Billy and Billy's dad have conversations all the time, but Krim is a serious character, which I don't really get to do a lot of. So I'm glad I get to do that.
Love it. My sister, Millie, Vivian.
Hi, girl. Hi.
Hi. I would love to hear your favorite moment of season 2 because we got some amazing Millie moments, including a phenomenal musical performance and her really getting to kind of step out on her own and shine as a character. So
I don't remember the names of the episodes. What's the one Adam wrote? Adam wrote a really badass.
He's got his little grimy fingers on a lot of these.
Yeah,
ones.
he's got his
Season
fingers
2.
all over him. Yeah, he
okay.
drools on them. And,
Okay.
But
Well, I very much enjoyed playing Millard.
yes,
Yeah, was Unhappy Campers was really fun because Millie got to disguise herself as a man, and she put forth her best foot at being a man, but she's a really bad actor, so that's why that was fun for me. That was one of my favorites.
I was blown away by that. I say this in every panel. When I heard Vivian sing that song, I asked Vivzy Pop Vivian, who sang that? And she said, what do you mean? Who sang that? It was Vivian. I'm like, oh my God, it was amazing. Because part of our issues is when we sing is my key is higher than Vivian's.
Nobody cares about my key. They just do it in Richard's key, and then I have to figure it out.
I was like, wow.
I love you too so much. For Erica, because I want to count B's episode as part of this, since that has been a big part of this season. I would love to hear how you felt about Loona's episode in our big the B episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like a really incredible character arc for her. I'm excited to see where it goes. We just recorded a lot more. It's going to be way down the pipe, but I'm really excited. Like more Loona angst and sort of peeling back those onion layers, and yeah. And I think I'm really excited to have a song eventually. So I think that's going to be really cool. Yeah.
I think this is the first time that we have talked about Loona getting her own song.
Well, Vivian doesn't arbitrarily put songs into the show. She wants, if a character has a song, she wants it to make sense for the story. And so I'm really excited about that.
Who else is excited for that?
But yeah, I've really enjoyed Loona's arc, and it was actually kind of terrifying. I've spoken on this before, but just in the beginning, like in the pilot, she was very. I was like, okay, so she does this, and it was very kind of two-dimensional, and then having to discover, because any character should be able to move through any kind of emotion, right? And discovering that for Loona was hard, because I was like, okay, is this still in character? And we kind of found it, throughout the records and everything. So yeah.
Awesome, and thank you so much. For Morgana Ignis, wait, are we seeing Sally Mae this season? Great question, Morgana. Wow, you're so good at asking questions. Yes. Anyway, moving on. Would you all care for a little bit more of a personal question connected to the themes this season?
I'm ready to reveal everything about my life and the people I know.
Are you ready to tear yourself open for this audience and ready to reveal your rawest form?
Physically or
Whatever you prefer. That's actually more
define
like
rawest form, please.
It's an after hours panel. So one of the big themes that we've had this season, and especially in the Mammon episode, is heroes and idols and sort of people that we looked up to. In the case of Blitz and Fizz especially, they looked up to Mammon from a very young age and kind of idolized and wanted to be that when they grew up. So I would love to ask the panel if there was somebody when you were young that you looked up to and kind of idolized in that same way. If there's any sort of person you want to shout out to that inspired you to do what you do now.
Rita Repulsa from the Power Rangers taught me that it's okay to be gay and it's okay to be evil.
Wait, this makes so much sense that you are a Rita Repulsa stan.
Rita Repulsa
Show the shoes
that I wear to every.
God.
They're really dirty now, but yeah,
I
I'm a
love
big fan.
that. Oh
Yeah,
my
she was the first
gosh.
drag queen I was introduced to. I mean, excluding Disney villains, of course. She was the first. Oh yeah, and then this guy was on. He played a character on that show. Little robot or something. He was in one episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's still weird to get the reminder that I had action figures of Richard when I was
I did too. I had the alpha
Yeah.
figure, and I had to buy the whole command center set because that was the only way to get the alpha figure.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah, well,
Thanks, Richard.
There's an episode of that show that there when Rita and Zed get married, and then they destroy the command center. I think I've told you this before. It's evil Alpha, and they just put a compact disc in his back.
I remember that. That was an awesome episode.
Finster put it in there, but there's the Rangers come in and they're like, oh my gosh, the command center is ruined. And then out of the shadows steps evil Alpha. And they never aired it, but Alpha originally said, I'll be your Huckleberry. But they didn't let us do it because it was copywritten.
Oh,
From Tombstone.
From Tombstone.
I'm your Huckleberry. Oh yeah.
I'll be your
I know that one.
Huckleberry. Yeah.
Bryce, do you have a specific person in mind?
Yeah, I do. I remember the first time that I was sort of conscious of voice acting being what it is, and that was Robin Williams in The Genie, because just knowing him as a performer and then seeing the character and hearing his voice and then hearing all those other voices and sort of getting obsessed with how inventive and just incredible he was. So that was an early, like, just a magnetic force that I just was like, I want to do something like that. I don't know what that is, but I know that I would like to do that. It just felt like the most impressive thing. Robin Williams is the genie. Exactly.
Exactly. Thank you. We almost did.
For me, it was, well, it didn't make me want to do voiceover necessarily because I never thought I would be doing VO, but it was from I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I still do, and it was Megan Hollinshead as my Valentine. I would just sit in my room and be like, "How did you see through my aromatherapy strategy? I summon Harpy Lady in attack mode," like that kind of. I love it so much, and I've done kind of like my Megan Hollinshead impression has gone into so many other characters that I've done now. So, yeah, but I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Richard.
What?
Answer the question!
Who's your hero?
Heroes, idols, people you looked up to when you were young.
Ooh.
And this doesn't just have to be for voice stuff, performing and acting in general as well.
I had 3. I had 4 actually. The first was Tom Jones. I was obsessed with Tom Jones. Obsessed with Don Adams, Maxwell Smart, Secret Agent 86. I loved it. And I loved Speed Racer. Loved Speed Racer. Still do. I still drive going, da-na-na-na-na-na.
People off the road,
I
too.
do, I run them off the road.
Yeah.
But I just go,
Don't drive with Richard.
Or
He's
near
killed
Richard.
men.
near me, yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Vivian, do you have anyone in mind for this?
I was inspired by Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater as a child. I saw Alvin Ailey perform at the Dorothy Chandler, and I said, that's what I want to do. And so I always communicated with my body, but I was always reserved and shy with my words. And then I remember taking a step back from performing, and who really inspired my voice is Cree Summer, who is Elmira and many other things. I asked her, I said, I really miss performing, but I don't want to be in front of the camera. I don't want to be on stage. And she said, give it a stab. And so she's my greatest inspiration.
Love that. Love that. Thank you. Thank you all.
Warm here to Blitzo and see how he hella feels about Stolas.
How does Blitz feel about Stolas right now? I mean,
No pressure.
I think it's rather obvious how Blitz might, if you read the subtext with the performances that have been out thus far, I think it's obvious Blitz maybe feels possibly a bit conflicted. It's definitely a sore spot that they have this very big economic difference between the two of them, and there's like this transaction. It's not exactly a two-sided friend with benefits, so it's messy on both sides, and I think that a lot of people can relate to being in something similar with someone, it's hard for me to tell what's been released already and what hasn't. I don't want to give any spoilers. So, but they die. How does Stolas feel about Blitz?
Oh. Well, it's similar. I feel you answered it really well. It's something that has surprised both of them. It started out as one thing, and now they're sort of
it's a bit three-dimensional.
Confused and complicated, which is like that's the juicy stuff. That's what we love to portray is the very human side of these non-human beings.
I love Stolas very much as Brandon, but Blitz I can't really answer for. No.
Yes.
We get that very complex moment with Stolas at the end of that hilarious scene in the hospital.
Yes.
waiting by his phone for the text. So when you read that that scene for the first time, what do you think was going through Stolas' head as he's waiting for that text?
Well, it's like we all have had moments of hoping, wishing, wanting something to be a certain way and waiting for confirmation from someone else that what we want is what they want. And I think, if you haven't been let down in that way yet in your life, chances are you will at some point. And it's a big, that's just I remember having those moments and feeling like, all right, yeah, this is what they meant by a heart being broken. It felt like there was a real disappointment there and a real pain there. That also proves to you that you care, that there's something. If you're disappointed, there's a reason, So I guess that's what I was thinking about, is like hoping that, hoping Blitz could show up in a certain way and being disappointed when he couldn't.
You just got a speech bubble that went away.
Yeah.
And I do that a lot. I'll start texting someone. I go, they don't need this extra bit. And then I don't think like, oh, they could see me typing.
Yeah, I know. That's again, these moments of our show that you guys write so well, and that the animators, as Erica said, they have so much of a role to play in the full story, because we only know what's being said, but there's so much that even we haven't even seen. Of course, we see it written in the script, but until you see it, there's a lot of emotion attached to that one thing, the ... and then it goes away. We've all been there.
It's a very modern, heartbreaking scene because that's something that can only be done today, where we all kind of know what that means to be waiting for a text, see them typing, because you can envision them on the other side pressing those keys and then stopping.
And it's also that you're filling that in with your dream, your dream text. You're like, you can see your dream about to appear, and then
I still send wires, so I wait for it to go, and it just starts to go, and then it stops.
Yeah, we received your pigeon this morning.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that was the pony in front of my house with the little wax sealed piece of paper that just said you.
Yes.
I was wondering who sent that.
Yeah, it was me.
Of course it was you.
I mean, it's nice to put in the effort.
I got a brick through my window with a Post-it note that said "dumb" on it, and so I wish.
I guess the mystery is solved. It was Richard.
Yeah. Well, he signed it.
He signed yours,
He
not
signed
mine.
Yeah.
You can sell that on eBay.
I charged
actually.
him.
He charged me for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't have a window because my window budget went to him.
Yeah, that's right.
Richard,
Yeah.
you've been a part of my childhood since Invader Zim and Billy and Mandy.
Thank you.
What made you start off in the pilot considering this was just a YouTube channel instead of something like Nick or Cartoon Network?
Well, I'm a huge fan of Vivzy Pop. Vivian Medrano had such a vision for the show, and she knew Maxwell Adams, who was the creator of Billy and Mandy, and he had worked with her on something, and he told me, you're gonna love this artist, and I did. And she, not only do I get to act in the show, but I get to sing in the show, which is like my first passion, is musical theater. And when she told me that we had so many talented musical theater people involved, like these two, I was all about it. And I get to voice direct it too, so that's why I love being part of this universe. And this is where animation is going. It's going to independent creators, which we need, because it's hard to get in the door. And what Vivian created on her own, I was just such a fan of. So that's how I got involved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
How is the casting different from a web series versus a cartoon or anime?
It's not a lot different, to be honest with you. With Helluva Boss and with that other show we shall not name, we the same audition goes out to every agent, and that's how we go about it. And Vivian often has who she wants, and Vivian, like me, is like a huge fan of musical theater, so that's why we work with a lot of New York.
It's also you have to kind of seek them out, right?
We got to
'Cause it's
seek
not
them out.
necessarily as accessible.
They're
He
not
was
as
an
accessible.
acting major, not musical theater.
Oh, we
She
get
still
some
sings very well.
Erica lore.
Let's hear a few bars
Really
of
got her.
something, Erica.
Oh, there it is.
Wow. Bravo. We get a favorite for that bar.
I will see you later, dear.
Which character do you think you're the most alike?
Luna.
Moxxie.
Sally Mae, probably. Top one.
I mean, Katie, Blitz.
What did I say?
Nothing. It was definitely about this show.
Yeah, I think it's obvious we all feel, a lot like our characters, and there's so much of us in each of them now that I was talking to somebody about it this morning, how when I first started, I felt like I was trying to find Stolas, that we were kind of doing this, and now I feel like I get into the booth and I'm so much closer to him. I just feel like I know him a little better. Is that y'all's experience as well?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
I'm always very impressed with Bryce because he's usually come from a show the night before because he's doing 8 shows a week in Little Shop of Horrors right now. And so he'll come in at what's like sometimes 9 in the morning his time, 6 a.m. our time, or somewhere in that vicinity. And, he's just done he plays like 8 parts in the show, including the dentist. And sometimes we'll throw a song at him that he hasn't even heard yet. And he'll be able to knock it down like that. So I think that's what I'm always the most amazed about in our recording sessions. Everyone's amazing, but Bryce, he can go right into that character like that, which is why he's saying he knows it now, so that when we all come in, we know exactly how we would respond in any situation.
I'm most like Bryce.
You most love Bryce?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Do you most love Bryce?
I most love Bryce more than all of you.
Yeah. How about you, Erica?
Good answer.
Yeah, it's Bryce.
Mostly Bryce?
Yeah, mostly
Morgana?
Bryce.
Bryce? Yeah.
I've met me, so I would say Bryce.
So Bryce. I think we'd all want to be Bryce.
Yeah.
Not Stolas, but Bryce.
Yeah, specifically Bryce.
I agree.
Bryce.
I've been trying to be Bryce for years.
I know. We've all been trying to be Bryce.
And failing miserably.
Oh, Shark Robot, be like Bryce T-shirts.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Be
saying.
like Bryce.
Unless you hate money.
Right? Be like Bryce.
I will also add, not to speak for Viv, but I am. I think that, we as a cast have done so much together, especially with Viv, with traveling, doing these conventions.
And time has gone by. We've been doing this for 5 years, if you count when we did the pilot. 5 years.
Which is
5
crazy.
years.
So I think Viv, more than I think a lot of creators on their shows, has gotten to know us personally so well. Like we spend time together at these conventions. We've gone to parties at her house before. And I think over the years, whether inadvertently or not, I think some of us personally has influenced how they're writing the characters.
Oh, totally.
Because now, you
Yeah.
hear us in the booth, they now know our choices, our choices as performers.
That is absolutely true, because I've been in the booth when I'm directing Erica, and she'll say, "Shut the up." So,
Oh my God. You mean to you?
yeah.
Can you please not, in front of all these people, Richard? Talk about how poorly I treat you in front of all of my fans? All of my fans. My millions of fans.
Okay, she just said, "Please shut."
Yes, thank
That's
you.
what she said. Yes.
That's character
Yeah.
development.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you so much.
What was your favorite moment as voicing Loona?
I can't talk about some of my recent favorites, but I would say that Loona Octavia scene for sure, that episode. It was so lovely. And I was like yummy. It was yummy. I don't know. It was just a really lovely scene to do. And it was really scary for me because I'd never voiced, I was actually really scared to do that scene because I had kind of just been skating by doing that monotone, like, "F you, I'm Loona," and then we got to this really emotional scene and I was like, is it gonna break character? Like, what do I do? And then I just went, I think my journey as an actor has been to realizing that I don't need to do so much, and I don't need to throw so much sauce on anything. Like you actually have to do, I don't know, maybe that's an actor's journey, is just realizing like, oh, you can just do less. And so I remember thinking to myself, like, I just went, just do it. You know what you're doing, you dumb. Like, just do it. So I did, and then it turned out great. I'm really proud of that scene. Yeah.
That scene was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it was well written, beautifully animated. I had a great scene partner. Like, it's, I'm a very small part of this massive machine. Yeah.
Well, I think that. Oh, sorry. I was going to think that I don't think it's necessarily that you're doing less. I think that I have a saying: you don't want to be doing, you want to be being.
Yes. Yeah. You're just being it
You're
instead
being,
of doing.
yeah.
Like you don't have to try
you don't
so
have
hard.
to push so hard. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
For once, you get one.
See, I see.
Yeah.
And thank you for answering my question.
No
Thank you.
problem.
What was the funniest part of the show for you?
I think it's the one line, "Shut the up that Loona had, because I remember us recording it and Vivian going, I don't even know if we're gonna use it, and then it ended up being this like meme. Like it was great. I'm like, you had such an impact on that episode with your one line, Erica. So yeah, I thought that was really fun.
The part where Stolas is in the hospital is hilarious.
He got hurt.
I did love that. I laughed so hard in that.
So did I.
I mean, pain is always funny.
It is.
Sad bird.
Originally, it was like, oh, Blitz.
Our alternate where they flatlines. Yeah. And like, oh, that didn't test well with the audience, so we had to change it.
We should have held a contest like when they did for Robin that one time. It was like, call this number. Press 1 if Stolas lives. Press 2 if Stolas dies.
Oh my god. I love
Shout out to the animators. Those chairs took me out.
Can I just say this is the X's and O's episode. I saw the animatic that was the original animatic for that scene. They had to redo a lot of that because there were and this is Viv's note. Viv said, there are too many the original animatic, there weren't more than a couple inches between all of on the wall. There was just like it looked like it would have given you trypophobia. There was just so many holes, and they all.
It looked
just,
like Lexi Leroy shop.
Yeah, exactly. And so they had to tone it down, and it's quite a bit less than there were before. But why am I talking about? Vivian made me talk about.
I didn't make you do anything.
Well, I mean, the problem with that was there were so many you couldn't appreciate the individual.
You get choice paralysis. You could never choose. There's too many.
Some of those looked like destroyers, though. I'm like, that's far-fetched.
I'm not gonna judge what somebody wants to use. Sometimes you just never mind. You know, we're getting off topic here. I think my favorite moments are always when any of you are drunk. I think any time one of the characters is drunk, I die. But this is also an additional thing that the animators add in because the voices are already funny. But then we walk away from the performance, and then the animators take it. So we get to see what this character looks like after our chaotic get out of the booth. So
the animation does so much work for us. I can't even tell you. Like, I feel like I could just be making fart noises in the booth, and like they would make it seem like I was having a conversation. And like they'd be like, "Wow, it's incredible. Give her an Annie." Like, wow.
Give her a farty.
Give her a farty.
There's one specific expression on Blitz's face when his drum is thrown into the van and he peeks out of the window. I posted it on the Spindle Horse social because I never don't laugh at that expression of like drunk Blitz.
He's against the window as they're driving off. Loona drives off.
this.
With,
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah, he's
and
so upset.
if Shark Robot is listening to this, we need a window decal of that for the car.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, we need. If there's one thing I could say for this franchise, it's that we need more merch. Please, more merch. There's never enough.
Well, I mean, look, we had an entire episode of we don't have a single hell of a boss. Well, never mind. Okay, anyway.
Bad Dragon collaboration?
That's what I think. If we,
no, I can't believe I just said that.
oh my God, Erica, you're crazy.
All these people. Oh no.
I'm just saying, like, do we not want to fund the next 17 seasons of the show?
That's how we do it.
Attention, Shark Robot, we're f***ing watching.
I just come in and I'm like, okay, plan. It's just a bad drawing of it. And stick it up on the wall.
with a money sign next to it.
Each character has their own.
Circled twice.
Each character has their own. Collect them all.
God. We did not.
I wanted to get the Stolas one, but I didn't want to pay extra for shipping.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Really off the rails. Thank you so much.
Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, we will.
Language.
Guys, I wanted to know if you guys had a favorite character design in the show.
I like Ozzy's design because he's got that little head and that giant body. I like that.
So I know there was controversy about this, but I think the bee design is
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Bee was
it's really cool. Yeah.
She is just a joy to look at, especially the way they animated her, the whole like moving lava inferno that her stomach is. Bee is just such a cool looking character.
I think for me, it's like Stolas. I love Stolas' design. Anytime I see a Stolas cosplayer, they're always just slaying. Like it's crazy.
Do we got any Stolases here?
Yeah, look.
Stolas,
there we
look
go.
at. I mean, they're looking
Prove
at
my
$1 million
point right there.
$1 million
Yep.
bucks. They all look
All of
great.
them slaying. I'm serving.
I like.
Erica!
Sorry. Oh my God.
God,
I didn't
you
say
hear
it that
her?
loud.
She's
Erica.
crazy.
I didn't say it that loud.
God.
Swear, don't swear.
That's my answer.
Oh, I've crossed the line. That was the line. I found it. I crossed it.
Not only did you
We
cross
were
it,
all having fun, but
you
then
crossed
God.
it, you burned it down,
Oh my
you went
God.
400 miles over it and back.
Oh, jeez. Classic me, am I right?
Classic Erica.
Yeah, always.
Always. And Millie and Moxxie. Right there. Millie and
Millie and
Moxxie. They're
Moxxie,
great.
yeah.
I will say,
We slay it. We slay.
I think I speak for all of us because I am currently. But we love the cosplays.
Oh my
and,
gosh,
and like
yeah.
that's there was somebody recently who was talking about one of the successes of Viv's projects, like from like a technical standpoint. All the characters just look extremely fun to draw. That is like a big thing that I think the appeal of this show is that her designs for her characters just look really fun to make and draw. So
I feel like with Vivian, you think everything's been done before. Like you're like every design's been done before, every idea's been had, and then you see Vivian's designs. What are you doing?
We're drawing.
Oh, I see.
Because we can't draw.
Anyway, I digress.
So,
Like,
by the way,
can't
Richard
draw.
loves if you go up to his booth to ask him to draw Moxxie.
he
That's
loves
his
it.
favorite
It's his
thing.
favorite
So
thing.
be sure to ask him to do that.
Don't do that.
Richard
I
drew me
can't
as
draw.
him one time, and I had to ask him who it was.
It had the
Is
antenna.
Zim it is.
I can't draw Blitz either. I'm
Can't
horrible
draw.
at drawing my
I
own.
cannot draw.
Now that we've
Thank
shamed
you.
ourselves for our
Yes.
inability to draw as good as Viv.
Do you guys have a favorite line that somebody else got to say?
I want to say for a character that is not on stage right now, everything that was said by Michael Cusack as
As
Mammon,
Mammon, yeah.
literally f***ing hysterical. There's a specific f***ing way that someone says in Australian that is amazing.
Erica and I got to watch that episode with the voice actor sitting right behind us. Remember that? We were watching it in the Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And he was sitting right behind us, and it was so weird. I'd never seen the episode, and I hear him like in his, because he's Australian, so he sounds like the kid. And I'm like, oh, I'm hearing him here, and I'm hearing him there, and it was very.
Real surround sound.
I like to say, oh, Blitzy, over and over. I'll say, oh, Blitzy.
Stolas is so like everything you say is so like audacious. I love it.
Yeah, Bryce, how do you do that? How do you really
It
tap
clearly
into
comes naturally. There's no way.
in detail?
I'm just gonna check the rules real fast.
We burned those to the ground like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'll change the subject, thank you. I liked Alex Brightman's, just his voice.
Oh, God, yeah.
And, I know Alex is a New York actor, and I've known him for 10 years, but I've never heard him make those sounds before until he sort of used that voice as Beetlejuice, and then Viv asked him to use it in our show as well. It's just a marvel to me that he can make that voice. So I love all the things that he says.
And not completely screw up his throat.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That
that's
it's sustainable and like it's just kind of a marvel of modern science, honestly.
In my opinion, there's a special award waiting for you somewhere for your delivery of the divorce line.
Thank you. Yes, that's the sound of divorce. Yeah, I remember. Whenever you see something in the script, like you're like, oh, this is gonna be fun. I remember that was one where I was like, I can't wait till we get to that part. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Who's your guys' favorite characters y'all ever played?
That's like an impossible question. I'm opting out.
Yeah, that's
I
a really
can't.
hard question because so much of ourselves go into all the characters that we do. But I have different favorite things about the characters I get to do. Like Daggett from the Angry Beavers was mostly like my personality. That's mostly my personality. Invader Zim, I love the writing and the animation a lot. Billy and Mandy I loved because I got to improv a lot. And Moxxie and Millie and the whole Helluva Boss gang I love because I get to sing. That's my favorite
The best
thing.
part of the entire show right
Yeah,
there, just
yeah,
the singing.
Yeah, I love the singing.
Richard, you started in musical theater, correct?
I did start musical theater. Yeah, I was an equity member at the age of 12. And it was like I was in heaven because I got my first card and it said dancer singer. And I was like, wow, because I just grew up on musical theater. I love everything
Was that
about
about
it.
10 years ago?
10 years ago when I was, because I'm 22 now. So yeah, about
Simple math.
Why does everyone I'm 22. What is yes,
guys.
yeah, yes. I started out in musical theater and I was an Oliver and I loved it. And I thought that's what I was going to do with my life, but I was in Los Angeles and I was doing TV and film, so no agent was going to send me to Broadway for 8 months. So, but now that I'm hooked up with Bryce, he's gonna get me a job in New York.
You got it.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
ladies and gentlemen, that's the panel.
Hey!